Howdy, folks. Um, I am pretty ready to be done with this group of videos, the numerology videos. I don't know why I commit myself to things that I know are going to take some time. I mean, like there's 10, different numbers, so obviously 10 videos I got to commit. Sometimes I'm like, why do there have to be 12 signs? That's so many. I have a Gemini rising. So much activity in my third house. I'm just like, I have to see all these things through to their end. Ugh, it's so draining. But anyways, just venting. I love you guys, and I am not going to sell this one short. 9 is a very, very important number in numerology. As we see on the chart here, you guys are smack dab at the top. You are as high as the tic-tac-toe can go. The only thing that's higher than you guys is a 10, which is off the charts. So if you're curious about that, it'll be in my next video, my last video. But we are talking about you is the 9 energy. So 9 energy is at the top of the mind plane. So we start with the earth plane, and then we go to the soul plane in the middle, and then the mind plane on top. So what would be the third and final air sign? Aquarius. Aquarius it is. So this should really resonate with people that have Aquarius in their chart. Obviously, if you are a 9, if you don't know how to figure out your life path number, just message me or look it up. It's really easy. You just add up your full birth date, month, day, and year, and you reduce it to a single digit by just continually adding it up. Unless you get a 10 or 11, leave it. But other than that, try to reduce it to a single digit or integer. So, life path number 9. What can we expect? Life path number 9. Aquarian energy. Woo, the most unpredictable. What can we expect? It's kind of uncharted waters. I mean, I have a moon in Aquarius, so I do feel like a true Aquarian in that sense. To me, everything seems like easy to understand, but maybe to others, maybe they have a harder time figuring me out. Maybe I can kind of seem like an enigma sometimes emotionally. I will say one big attribute to my Aquarian moon is that sometimes, especially in a social sense, it's harder for me to express myself emotionally if I'm going through emotion, because I just always put other people's emotion on a pedestal and not my own. So Aquarians seek to put that spotlight on others. They don't really need it or dwell in it. It's unfamiliar to them. They look for it in love, so they obviously are attracted to Leos, people that have a lot of light shining on them, but they don't really want it focused on themselves. We come later in the cycle, almost at the end, with Pisces, with the number 9 as the end, and so it's less about the self and the self needs. It's about the universe and what humanity needs. So 9s are very big humanitarians. They're really, they're really taken up with helping humanity in a large part. Maybe we could see some INFJs as 9. But, people that are big thinkers, so they're really, okay, this must be your guys' card, because I was drawing this earlier when I was flipping through my golden. I love this card. I get this card all the time, Wheel of Fortune. It's kind of like my new thing. I was getting King of Wands a lot for a while there, but Wheel of Fortune seems to be what I'm feeling these days. So it's pretty cool. Wheel of Fortune, there's a lot going on. So we see all 4 elements at play. And it's kind of like the Magician in that sense, in that it can encompass anything. Anything's possible. This is more of a fate card. So, the spin of the wheel, you don't know what you're going to land on. So, this is interesting that we get this for you guys because you guys have future vision. So, you'd think out of any of the numbers that the 9 would know what's next. Maybe this is speaking more so that other people don't understand you or know what they're going to get from you. Who knows? But this could, you could maybe tap into any of these elements at any time, whether you need to rise above with the bird, whether you need to be a little firmer or more stubborn with the Taurian energy. It doesn't matter, but this is usually a very positive card, that the universe is on your side. And I think the universe is the key word there at play. So very universal understanding, Aquarian energy. Yeah, and there's a lot of truths to be had. Look at all those books. There's a lot of knowledge there. So you guys have a lot of wisdom that you can bestow upon the world. And yeah, so it's up to you to unlock that. So the only problem is we got this guy. So 5 of Cups reversed. Do we feel like there's oh wow, I'm having the worst hair day. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Sorry, you guys. How do we adjust there? Do we feel like there's always tragedy lurking around the corner? Do we expect the bad thing to happen? If we tell ourselves that that's always an eventuality, we may manifest that energy. Manifesting is really powerful stuff, you guys. The more you think about something, the more power in life you're giving it. So if it's something bad, you're giving it more intent to harm you. You know what I mean? Whether it comes about or not, you're paralyzing yourself before something even happens. And we see a lot of foresight, a lot of future planning and action with Aquarius, or even Virgo. And so we have to make sure that we're not setting ourselves up to fail by thinking that the worst thing is going to happen. It's like that one eventuality that's going to ruin everything is going to happen. I think that's what we're seeing here with it's funny because we preach a very humanitarian, like, everything's possible outlook, but in our minds and emotionally, we just feel like everything could go wrong at a moment's notice. And I can agree with that with an Aquarian. Like, I go into panic mode a lot because I just fear what's going on next, because I'm so future focused that it can sometimes be debilitating. And maybe you guys feel like someone always gets the better of you. Maybe it's that train of thought that gets the better of you. We see swords, so you just feel defeated time and time again. So we know we have big plans, big purpose, but the world just tends to push you back down a peg. That wheel just isn't always turning in your favor. And so we become like very, very aggressive. We kind of can become abusive of our power and stuff when we see time and time again that this effort that it just keeps going against our favor. We surrender to the wheel, but if it lands on something we don't like, the bankruptcy, then what was all that for? Why did we try to get on the show? Why did we put all this energy and stuff? This is the one. That's the one I'm going to talk about. Why did we put all that energy and effort to get onto the Wheel of Fortune? If we're just going to land on that little sliver that says bankruptcy. So you guys have got to not let fear paralyze you. Sometimes it's nice to just remind yourself that anything is possible and that there's a lot more to be achieved as opposed to be lost. Even in loss, there's things to be achieved. There's lessons, there's learning, there's understanding. We find ourselves when we're pushed down as long as we're open to that, as long as we're open to the lessons. So Queen of Wands, she's very powerful, she's very spiritual. 9 is the highest, so it's very, very spiritual on the chart. And that humanitarian that oversees all. So we're very nurturing to most, but we can be a little demanding. We can be a little aggressive. We can be like that mom that's just like, okay, honey, you got to do this, this, and this. Why haven't you done any of these things yet? You know, we can be a little uptight. You know, think about Hermione, like how she kind of like is very rigid with Harry and Ron sometimes because they just don't. They're just not future vision. They're not like, oh my God, I only have 3 hours until this test or whatever. Da 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 da. They literally will wait to the last minute every time, and she's the one that's. She already read all of her books before the semester even starts. You know what I mean? So don't get ahead of things all the time because you are going to overexert yourself. Yeah, you're going to overexert yourself. So what we do see here, and this is my second card. So this is a 9 is in the energy, and I understand. These are my 2 cards. Aquarius. So King of Wands is masculine fire. So we may see a lot of Leo energy too. A lot of fire signs out there with 9s. But King of Wands is creative. He's looking for growth. He's independent. He's a free thinker. He's a leader. So it may not take a normal form of what a leader looks like because we don't see that with Aquarius. We see Aquarius as more of the one that is not in the spotlight, but is in a position to help or to change. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's weird because it's kind of like, yeah, it's like 2 different things happening. But let me see what else we can draw. But that's really interesting. Back to back, Queen and King of Fire. I like that. Okay, so the only problem is these reversals, though, are going to hold us up. This 3 of Pentacles is, it seems like no matter the effort or no matter the sweat, we never achieve what we set out to accomplish, maybe. You know, that hard work and stuff, it just never fully pays off for us because someone gets the better of us, or maybe we don't fully see it through. You'd think with 9s they'd be able to wrap up a lot, but with the Queen of Wands reverse, the focus is on everyone else, and we already see that with Aquarius. So we get away from holding ourselves accountable a little, and it's more about being a little nitpicky with others, you know, kind of being more critical, and fault finding a little bit. So that's what we're doing. Again, pessimistic card. We're doubtful that this stuff is going to pay off, you know, and it's like you continually find yourself going in a different direction or starting new things, but it's just like if you're already having that feeling like at the beginning of it, like why even put in the effort? You know what I mean? Are you just, I don't know. Let me get some more from that. Okay. Wow. All right. So I'm going to hold up these here. So these are the bad guys, kind of. These are the bad guys. These 2. Sorry, the reversal always gets me. These 2 are the reversals, or the bad guys. So with 9 energy, you do have to be careful that you are not manipulating. You are not trying to deceive because you are naturally smarter. You're not. I almost see the fox, like when I see that 5 of Swords. Very sneaky individual, or the 7, I mean. sneaky individual that just kind of like goes in stealth mode, and people just aren't aware that he's getting away with stuff, but he is. Um, and that's not cool, 9. So maybe that's where that Queen of Wands, we get away from the emotional side of things, that nurturing, caring sensibility, and it's more like tough love from Queen of Wands reverse. And King of Wands is more the ego. So you guys do have a bit of an ego, um, and but you just want to make sure that you're doing the integrous thing. You're using that fire for the betterment because that's what you stand for. Don't abuse that position, because the fire, King of Wands is natural fire, and Emperor is Aries, which is fire. I didn't even see that. Wow. Okay. So we may see definite Aries energy. If you don't have Aries in your chart, you may come across like an Aries. So again, demanding, aggressive, and the only thing is that this 5 and the 7 of Swords is, are we taking from others, Are we taking from others, or are we being taken from? Because that 5 of Cups seems like there are things outside of your control. Again, Wheel of Fortune, outside of your control. It's a fate card. So you guys may have had a hard time getting to where you are now. Maybe early childhood or whatever, there were some setbacks, some loss of family maybe. And yeah, so the thing to remember though is that you guys have a lot of natural power, King of Fire, Emperor energy. So you guys could be really, really strong leaders, very strong, very assertive, very goal-oriented. But the only thing is, are you yourself working towards something, or are you more commanding others to bring that to fruition, So you just have to be mindful about, are you leading by example? Because we get very aggressive, Knight of Swords energy. I'm experiencing this right now, and I feel very competitive. I feel very, my ego is at play, but it's more of like I have to kind of talk myself down a little bit, because I'm like, oh, I see all these things, da 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 da. It makes me feel smart and everything, but I'm like, okay, Tyler, well, just because you see those things, you still have to put the effort in. You still have to hold yourself accountable. You still have to ask yourself, like, what have I done at the end of the day? Just because I know and see all these things, So that's, again, what I'm tying into the accountability factor. So with all this power, we could see an abuse of it, especially in love. So, 9s, what's going on? 9s can't be tied down, I guess, with love. I will just say that the Hierophant is the one card you do not want to see reverse, because that means that there's some unfaithfulness. I mean, he's a pope. He's this spiritual icon or zealot, and so when he's reversed, he's doing bad things. He's using his position for bad. So again, this ties into what I said, you guys. You guys have so much power, so much to be thankful for, so much to live up to. Maybe that pressure, you just feel like you never asked for it, and you just are a little rebellious from it, or you just don't know how to, you just don't know how to kind of like hold yourself to those high standards that you set for others. Yeah. Because, like I said, that Aquarian energy, the focus is on other people, and it's not so much the self. But at the end of the day, we're only accountable for our own actions. We can't control the actions of other people. So you have to look in the mirror and be like, did I do the right thing? You know? What are you trying to get away with? You know, you sly people. Don't try to outsmart or outmaneuver people. That's not cool. Use your power for good, okay? And if you fall more on the side where these bad things just keep happening to you, it's a test of your will. Yep, Knight of Wands. It's a test of your will. So this is a self journey. We got the Lovers card, but this is a very flamboyant person that kind of comes in, again, alluring. Those 7, 8s, and 9s, really, that last column is just like, I don't know what it is, but it just seems like they're very good-looking characters. It's like you want to be close to them, you want to be around that energy. Obviously, we're getting the Lovers, but you know they've just got, there's something else going on here. And we got 2 Knights here, so we can feel very, very, I've already used the word aggressive, but we can feel very defensive. Next card, we don't want to drop things that are on our plate, or maybe we don't even want to take things on, you know. Accountability. Ooh. It's like you don't want to put in that hard work. You'd rather be the one that's overseeing it, which that's not a bad thing, but in some areas of your life, you're going to have to put in hard work, you know? You can't be commanding all the time. So, Knight of Wands, there's a lot of journeys. There's a lot of big things to find. So that's cool. You know, you can really find yourself, and lots of travel. You go far off distances. So when you see a new path open up or something, it's a big one. You know, it's far from where you've been, where you've come. Maybe you feel like you transform a lot. But the Knights, you know, are you seeking battle? Are you seeking battle unjustly? You know, like, are you looking for situations to cut others down, to get out your aggression because maybe you're not channeling it? You know, maybe there's some rage there with the Emperor card. A lot of heat, and all this intellect. You know, if you spend so much time up here, you have to push it out of you too. You know, you get out of touch with your physical body, and so it's good to, wow, this one's come up a lot. Just what I was saying too. Rest. So we either rest by you know, shutting the mind off, going to sleep, or like I said, pushing it out of you, finding that exertion. You know, maybe competition is what the Five of Swords is talking about. You know, you guys may find yourselves attracted to sports, or, you know, something like that that gives you the ability to kind of to be in a situation where you can overpower the other individual, but it's not like a lasting kind of effect that's going to do damage. You know what I mean? It's just like for a game or a practice or something. So look into sports, see if that's a good way to get that out of you. But okay, lots and lots of rest, this is a lot of you time though, so you really have to center yourself. If that is religion for you, then that's your thing. Do whatever really centers you. Meditation, this stuff. Who knows? Whatever your thing is. Go into Bath and Body and start smelling all the candles. Whatever really relaxes you. But this could mean that sleep is a big issue for you guys, that you guys struggle with sleep. You have a hard time shutting it off. I see that in myself. A lot of these cards are making sense for me with my Aquarian moon. But Yeah, this is a lot. So with the Five of Cups, though, I will say that this could be the funeral card. So unfortunately, maybe you guys have seen some tragedy strike around you in your life. You know, whether it's loved ones or friends or whatever. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time and you saw some stuff, but um, maybe that's where we're seeing a lot of things laid to rest. So this, since it's a four, it's not a finality in a sense if it's not death that we're talking about. But this is getting to a place to where we're well rested, we're recharged. So maybe we'll see a lot of introverts or like eyes out there that, you know, Aquarius, INFJ is kind of the archetype I see, but um, you really have to recharge. You can't always be going, going, going. And so that's important to remember here. Yeah. So take some rest time and time again. You've got to find whatever it is for you that means rest or that works. You know what that thing is and readily have access to it. This one's come up 3 times, and the first two I was like, but it came up a third time, you guys, so I have to talk about it. So, promises, promises. You guys, I'm gonna paint a lighter picture here because this could mean real relationship woes, but we already see the Hierophant in reverse and the Lover's card. So love is a really big thing for you guys, and you got fire, like passion. You know, it's big in your life. Nines must find themselves in relationships easily or often, or love is a really big part of your journey. Okay, but here, these two people aren't meeting halfway. One's more than the other, or they are building a foundation on unsolid ground. You know, the promises aren't being kept. There's a little bit of lies, and we see that with the Hierophant reverse. So, you guys, this accountability thing, I will say, I can vouch for Aquarian energy in that um, it doesn't abide by society's rules and standards. It's a bit taboo. So if you try to get an Aquarian to be like, oh, let's go do the thing that everyone else is doing, they're going to be like, no. So unfortunately, in the sense of marriage, it seems like they can't be held to that level of accountability either. They are a little more loosey goosey. So, um, hopefully, you have a very understanding lover or a partner that sees that it doesn't look like you wish ill intent or anything. Um, I don't know, maybe getting away with things is a little fun to you guys because we did get both of those cards. But I don't feel like you're trying to destroy things, you know. Um, it's just more so that you're not. You guys just don't hold yourselves to the standards that everyone else has or that you put on everyone else, and so it's just like, where's the integrity? You know. That's all I have to say. So, but there's some cool things here. I mean, there's lots of potential, lots of big stuff. But you guys feel like time and time again that people get away with stuff. That's your focus. And if you keep that mindset, you're only setting yourself up for failure. And it looks like that can happen a lot here. Um, and you just have to find ways to relax, find ways to get away from it all every once in a while so you can recharge and regain your strength. But don't just charge straight ahead at everything that comes in your way, you know. Um, it's not always beneficial to just exert all that energy all the time. You have to choose your battles. You have to choose your battles. And we got the Emperor, the Aries card, and I always say that with Aries, pick your battles. So if you have Aries in your life, you know, you may find that that's exhausting again and again. Gemini, Taurus, any of those, Leo, Pisces, like all those kind of came up there. But we're really talking about Aquarian here. Um, but it's just important to know that yes, we all want to do the good fight and everything, but it's just you have to know when is when, when the time is right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I have one more to do after this. I'll be done. Thank God. Okay. But yeah, any of the nines out there, if you have any questions, DM me. Let me know.